Hi, this is Darren Drew from Drew Guitars. I'm going to show you how to wet sand in between coats of lacquer. First off, I use a sanding block like this with some cork on the bottom. It makes it give a little bit, but it still makes it flat, and you'll have a mirror type finish on it. And like I've mentioned before in my other videos, like these holes here, I'll chamfer them. With the chamfer bit, it puts an angle on them so that it won't crack anywhere. Clean the holes out every time I do like 3 or 4 coats. And, then I'll get to the edges, but I'll just use a small block like this. You want to keep it clean. I put a little bit of soap detergent, liquid soap detergent in my water. Just start at one end, work your way. And of course, I flat block sand this before I even start putting any color or finish on it. And I'll go up and down the body a couple times like this. And then I keep moving my sandpaper to keep it clean. And, you should really wait like a day or so after you spray on the lacquer to start sanding on it so it cures just a little bit at least. And that your final product, you want it to let it sit for like a month, believe it or not. And just nice and smooth everywhere, do the whole thing. And you'll be able to see where you didn't get. See, I'm going to move my sandpaper now, spray some more water on it. You can see the soap bubbles on it. If this is just a step, you put on 3 or 4 coats and then wet sand it. That way it's going to fill in all the little gaps everywhere. I use some easy sealer, sanding sealer, before I even put the color on to, and it really helps fill it in faster, even though that this is maple, just plain maple, and then I'll just wipe it off, wipe off all this water. This spots you got to be kind of careful on. You want your sandpaper really tight against your block so it doesn't roll and then hit your edges off, because you don't want it to come off on your edges, your finish. I just use a paper towel and wipe this off, because I only want to sand so much, but I'm getting to the point on this where it's got about 8 or 9 coats on it to where everything is pretty much filled in and coming out smooth everywhere, except for like the, what the sprayer leaves on it. You probably can't see it from there, but, I can still see more spots where it hasn't been sanded throughout here, and even back in through here. So I'm going to use a new piece now because that one's a little bit worn out. And I just keep going until I don't see any more spots that haven't been sanded. And then I'll do the edges, fold the paper up, do the edges. The edges have to be really careful not to sand through on the edge, because it sands through very easily. So I'll sand it like this with this, just by hand. And then if there's any left, like on this edge here, because I'm not going to do too much on there, but I'll use a sanding pad like this, 320, and I'll hit the edges. Basically like this, because it's a lot softer than with the block. And that way you're not going to sand through on the very edges. So that's a quick brief of, wet sanding in between coats. And I'll show you some more later. Please like, please subscribe. This is Darren Drew from D Drew Guitars. Talk to you later. Bye.